Charter school board members and charter school administrators should study and understand the role of the U.S. Department of Education and what it has to offer to public charter schools. In normal times, federal funding makes up about 10% of public funding for charter schools. The bulk of federal funds received by charter schools are received through your state education agency, who serves as the administrator for federal funds awarded for public schools under the Elementary Secondary Education Act, also known as ESSA, E-S-E-A. The primary federal funds include Title I, Title II, Title III, and Title IV. These funds help each state and their public schools serve economically disadvantaged students, English language learners, immigrants and migrant students, homeless students, and other disadvantaged students. States also administer federal Individual Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, funds that support services to students with disabilities. These are some of the most well-known federal funding sources. As charter school board members and charter school administrators, you should further explore federal funding in charter schools. You should know that federal funds come with distinct duties and responsibilities and are highly regulated. You must take the time to study and understand the regulations attached to federal funded programs. This understanding will help your charter school effectively manage federal funds and maintain compliance. There is another important aspect of understanding federal regulations that impact your charter school. The U.S. Department of Education can be your ally in protection against rogue anti-charter state regulators. In the charter school world, there are rogue anti-charter school state regulators. These rogue regulators are generally subject to compliance with federal regulations. You should take the time to read the federal regulations that attach to the federal programs operated by your charter school. You should also take the time to read the state regulations that your state adopted to comply with federal requirements. Your state is required to submit a state plan to the U.S. Department of Education related to its expenditure of ESSA and IDEA funds. You should review those state plans and keep yourself informed. It is important that you see the big picture of the federal regulatory process. It will help you understand your duties and responsibilities related to managing federal programs in your charter school. You should become familiar with the enforcement tools available to your charter school if your school is not treated fairly by state regulators. The U.S. Department of Education, Office of Inspector General, and Office of Civil Rights are just two of the enforcement arms of the federal government that can help you your charter school. You should become familiar with the complaint process and how to file a complaint if necessary. The U.S. Department of Education also maintains an important repository of educational best practices data. As serious educators, you must become familiar with these educational best practice data sources. The Institute of Education Sciences, or IES, is part of the National Center for Educational Evaluation and Regional Assistance within the U.S. Department of Education. The IES operates the What Works Clearinghouse. The What Works Clearinghouse is a public database of educational research that ranks the quality of research studies and helps you identify peer-reviewed studies that inform educational best practices. Whether you are planning to write a new charter school application, write a grant application to support your charter school programs, whether you are shopping and assessing the quality of an assessment program, reading program, math program, or science program, the What Works Clearinghouse database can provide you invaluable information in making important decisions that will impact your students and the success of your charter school. The U.S. Department of Education can be an important ally in the success of your public charter school. Charter school board members, charter school administrators have a duty to understand the charter school's connection to the U.S. Department of Education.